we are, friends. That is, kind friends, just back from this beautiful dedication and reopening of St Patrick's, Soho Square. Founded in 1792, decorated in 1893, and now after £3.5 million, open again by my cousin, Father Alexander Sherbrooke, and the new Archbishop of Westminster, whom I know faintly, as he came from Birmingham, which is our diocese. So now, back from this fabulous reception, plenty of champagne, I have to deal with matters in hand called renting my room. Here we go. Here is the Baroness Julia Camoys Stonor ascending the stairs to what was her bedroom. Alas, no longer. I did have a rather juvenile lodger who sadly absconded, or would you say ran away, after 17 months of my hospitality. Gave me a slight surprise. So I'm about to measure up for the on Gumtree and let's hope some lovely continental person, thinking of which, here I am, brought up with royalty. Here we have Prince Henry, Duke of Gloucester, his sister, the Princess Royal, who was the Lady Harwood, Prince Richard of Gloucester, now the Duke, Princess Alice, sundry Constable Maxwell cousins, and Julia herself. This was in the time when my mother decided that I'd need only shop at Marks and Spencer's and not have correct underwear. Very embarrassing. My Spanish figure. So I'm going to measure up in feet. This is to be a very old tape measure. And by 2 times 60, 120 inches, approximately 120 inches. Let me see now. 120 inches. I think it's more or less the same. I think I both have 120 inches both ways. Long ago, giving up my bedroom. First it was the sofa, and now I have the back bedroom, which is my office, and I think it's known as a box room where you keep everything. So let's have a look at that, ladies and gentlemen. One of my many lodgers, a darling American friend, widow of an ambassador, Mrs. Timothy Burke. And she was accused by the stewards and the guards at any royal regatta for having a skirt above her knee. So take a look at this. And the Leander Club and the Henry Royal Regatta took umbrage. It was very humiliating. Sadly, she's gone to heaven, but she was a wonderful, wonderful friend. Just been measuring the space. I'm looking up at the touchingly beautiful painting by Professor Hubert Wellington. He was a pupil of Walter Sickert, and it's of the chapel at Stonor, where I was married, where my children were christened, where my parents were apparently buried in the graveyard out there, all cremated. So I'm going, this way round is 12 feet, this way round is, I should think, 6 to 7 feet. And sadly, as I have no space, I have to live with my research for my second book, and my accounts. And here I'll be for the eye operation, which seems to be extremely tedious because they apparently takes 3 to 5 weeks to recover. So I shall have to be very patient. Ladies and gentlemen, all my friends out there, I so much want to share with you the first volume of my black comedy memoir, Sherman's Wife. Cardinals, peers, Nazis and prostitution. And I thought I'd whet your appetite by reading out one chapter and then the contents. I'll read the first chapter first. That's logical. There's a lovely picture. The cat that caught the cream in a Norman Hartman dress. From 1939 until 1945, Stonor Park and its annex, Assendon Lodge, were war zones. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, eye problems. Jeanne would make sure of this, deprived, but only to a certain extent, of the full drama of life in the roaring London. She recreated its heady atmosphere as nearly as she could in the country, and this she did most successfully, using all the props of the large, prosperous, ancient lands, villages and mansions that belonged to her husband, absent on active service, and, as Jeanne pointed out, in foreign parts, thank God. Now, so in my first volume, described as darkly humorous memoir seen through the eyes of the small Julia Camoys Stonor, is set in the heart of Europe's power-hungry aristocracy during the years around the Second World War. Her mother, Jeanne, came from an impoverished Catholic aristocratic family, the Stourtons, and as soon as she came of age, Jeanne cavorted her way through the stately homes of England and the boudoirs of Mayfair, Madrid and Rhode Island. Jeanne was equally at home in the corridors of the Vatican as she was at the stadium of the infamous Munich Olympics in 1936, and she later honeymooned at Count von Ribbentrop's castle in Nazi Germany. Even after marrying Sherman, the half-American, future 6th Baron Camoys, Jeanne continued to take lovers and was insatiable in her desire to advance through society. An avid churchgoer, yet adept at persuasion and seduction, she was never averse to resorting to sexual blackmail in her quest for gems, land and titles. So the result is a frank and sometimes shocking portrait of life amongst the English upper classes. The outbreak of war meant that their dreams of power in Europe were dashed, and they lost no time in jumping into uniform for the war effort, while still finding opportunities to dabble in the black market or to zip off to London for illicit liaisons at Claridge's Hotel. So, and then there are several photographs. I think you've seen those in the Baron Lodge. And on the back, one photograph of myself. So, all of you good friends out there, and don't forget my mother stole the tiara from Aunt Julie in front of me, but I was so naive I didn't understand. Her prayer books were given to me as a consolation, while she removed the fugazi. And for the next episode, I'm going to tell you all about my beloved and very tragic aunt, Jeanne Stourton. And all of you are, of course, very intelligent. If you look at the gravestone, you'll see I give you 3 clues as to what is wrong, and I'll give you the answer next instalment. Thank you all.